We're after getting our electricity bill, and I'm telling you now, they must have charged us for the sunlight, the moonlight, the street lights, the light of the Holy Spirit, the speed of light, the light that lights my life, and the light at the end of the tunnel, because I'm telling you, it is extortionate.
Can this fucking country get any worse? Cost of living crisis, bills through the roof, can't feed your fucking kids properly, and the government want to slap a fucking tourist tax on a UK holiday.
This is ours for the week so far. I mean, it is Sunday night, so it will reset tomorrow, but I can believe it. It's crazy.
But it's fine, because I've got it all sorted out. Because I've got out a loan to repay the first loan and to also buy a PlayStation. And if I fall behind on the repayments of that, I just get out another loan. And so forth and so forth. It's working the system.
But that's right, I bet 222 pound to 22p. I'm not paying that. I can't even say it.
Right, I'm going to have stuff I'm on this morning. See your electricity and gas company, right? Now, for instance, I'm with Octopus. Now, I moved from Ovo to Octopus. I wouldn't say that Octopus are much better, to be honest with you. If there was like, move over to them, they're great. I don't pay by direct debit anymore. Since all of this happened, since all of this price increase happened, the amount that any electricity company is charging you per month for direct debit is insane, right? I can't remember what mine was, but it was absolutely off the scale nuts. You know how they do like an estimate thing? So I was like, right, nah, I'm just going to pay what I use each month, right? Now, if you're even one day over, like, the date that your bill would be due, Octopus are continually phoning you, right, to pay it, which is fair enough, chasing it up, but it's pure harasses me and I can't cope. But not only that, they've got like their reward system, and it's like you get one free coffee at Greg's per week. You get like free coffee at, I think it's Cafe Nero, different places, right?
Welcome to Blighty Blighted, your daily reminder that for far too many people in Britain, the problem isn't affording luxuries anymore. It's affording the bloody basics. There was a time when you could work hard, pay your household bills, and expect to have a little something left over. You might not have been rich, but you could keep the lights on, heat the house, buy your groceries and put a few pounds aside for a rainy day. These days, that rainy day seems to have arrived permanently. The electricity bill comes through, the gas bill follows, then there's council tax, water, insurance, rent or mortgage payments, and of course the weekly supermarket shop waiting to finish the job. By the time I've paid the essential bills, my bank account looks like it's been burgled by people who had my PIN. And this is what worries me most. We're no longer talking about people complaining because a holiday has become slightly more expensive or because they can't afford to upgrade the television. We're talking about people struggling with things they simply cannot do without.
I just looked at 2 nights in London, £1,840. Then you want to put another £92 on for a fucking weekend break? We pay income tax, council tax, VAT, road tax, national insurance. Now they want to tax us to take a bloody rest. You want to tax us on the only thing that we have to keep us fucking sane? This government hates working class people. They want us to work till we drop. We never rest, never enjoy a fucking thing. Fuck this country, fuck this tax. When does this blood sucking actually end? Too loud to be ignored. Hit follow, more chaos.
Mortgage market update, guys. My name's Ian. I'm a whole of market mortgage and protection advisor, and this update follows on from this morning's release about UK inflation. 3 things to look at here, and the first one is CPI. That's the whole basket of goods, consumer price index, and this has risen. The bank were expecting this, so I don't think it will come as too much of a shock. 2.6, now 2.9. If you look at the other things, it's a bit more interesting. Core inflation, which strips out the volatile stuff, held steady at 2.6, so no change there. And if you look at services inflation, which is something they pay a lot of attention to, that actually dropped 3.6 to 3.4%. Now, the next scheduled Bank of England rate meeting, September the 17th, and all this will be digested and the panel will vote on the Bank of England base rate. I don't think what they've seen today will be too much of a concern, but one thing that will be worrying them is the old Middle East. It hasn't been resolved. It's going from bad to worse. Oil is back around $91, $92. This is super inflationary, and no one really knows when this is resolved or how it's going to end. That will be the problem that they will be considering. My name's Ian. I'm a whole of market advisor. Like, follow, share the page, get in touch if you want to speak about your mortgage. And as always, good luck with your mortgages.
We've recently moved house and we've just put in our first meter reading, and it's saying that our first bill for 1 week is going to be £560. Now, someone please tell me that that cannot be right. So for context, this is a new built house. No one has ever lived in it before, and it has 6 solar panels. It has underfloor heating downstairs and in the bathrooms, and has regular radiators in the bedrooms. Our old place was an old Victorian flat, and that used to cost us around £200 for gas and electricity for 2 months. Say I was floored when my husband told me it's just going to cost us for a week is an understatement. Is it even possible domestically to rack up a bill that size? It's not that big of a house. Definitely is an issue with the water. We haven't quite figured out boiling hot all of the time. To have a shower, it's just too hot. Would that be £500 a week? Surely nobody can be affording £500 a week on electricity. Well, we certainly can't anyway. We've basically no idea if it's the heating or the water issue, or is it like the meter? Can the meter be calculating it wrong? And as we were putting in the meter reading, we're with Octopus Energy, and it came up saying, are you sure this meter reading is right? It looks really high. People have jokingly asked if we would be powering the entire street's electricity. I mean, could we? I'd be so grateful for any help.
Putting up rents, this gentleman says people are struggling with a cost of living crisis. It's important to have some empathy. I fully agree. I absolutely fully agree. But there's only so much empathy I have. I mean, brother, I'm one of those people, I get the piss taken out of me constantly. It's been a near permanent feature of my life. But it is what it is. So I am being as flexible as possible with the tenants. I understand it's a cost of living crisis going on. For myself as well, the taxes have changed around buy-to-lets. So it has to be, reflected in the actual rent. Unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be now. But I can see how, I've got hands-on experience. I can see exactly how tight things are out there. It's quite bad. Anyway, fingers crossed. Things will get better. The property market, I think, is going to take a bit more of a dip. And then there might be some very good deals to be had in a few months from now. In particular towards the winter time. We shall see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Round us about.
Out of Aldi. Because after my bills are paid every month, I am left with £600 to put fuel in my car so I can get to work. Get my food for the month. And do everything else I need to do. And within that, we're coming up to Christmas. After that, I've got to face the 7-week month of fucking January.
I seen this last night and I thought I've got to respond to this. I did the video where the news team went round to his house, Sky News I think he was, and he was not eating because he couldn't afford it. He didn't have any money left over. He had like £70 to last him a month or whatever it was. His meal for the day was fish fingers and beans, and that's all he ate. It's ridiculous. I delved into the comments on that video and people were saying, yeah, but you got 600 quid left over, that's a lot of money and stuff. Yeah, it is a lot of money, but when you start putting fuel in your car and you've got kids, which she does have and she states in the video, and you go shopping, my goodness me, you go shopping now and get one small bag of food, it's 30, 40 quid. This is why us as people will never ever win in this country, because we're always against each other. We're never together as a unit, and we should be, because that's what the government want. They want us to be fighting each other, and this country at the moment is on its arse. Massively, massively, massively on its arse.
You can't live in the UK anymore. You can just about survive. And here's why. Your rent and mortgage, £900 to nearly £2,000 I've seen in some instances. Your council tax, anything from £150 upwards to nearly £300. TV licence, water rates, transport, parking, stuff for the kids, childcare, your car breaks, you need home improvements doing. These are all things that are just stretching us to the point where there's just nothing left. You work hard, you put all of that effort in. Some people are working 2 jobs and still scraping by. People were choosing heating over eating in the winter. Now, this isn't for everybody. This is some people, but it's a lot of people, and you'll see that from my comments as well. And that's why you can't live in the UK anymore. You're just about surviving because you can't afford to live.
Oh God, we've had a development and it's not good. So I've been extremely unemployed for like 7 months now. Because of that, I'm on universal credit, which if you don't know, is like a reward the government give you for being unemployed. And this month they took my universal credit off me, every single penny. And their reason was because I'm self-employed and I earn money through comedy. But let me tell you, it's not much money. And honestly, when they told me they were going to take my universal credit off me, my comedy career was going quite well. And I thought, you know what, Dom, you're going to be fine. And then since they've taken this money off me, things have taken a steep decline. So I had to do the ultimate walk of shame and write a message in my universal credit journal, which is basically Snapchat for unemployed people. And I said, hey, I was recently taken off UC as I wasn't taking my job search seriously enough. However, I'm really struggling financially, so could we please look and put me back on, please? And they replied the very next day, and it was not positive. Because they replied saying, hello, the reason was not this, it was because of self-employment, the comedy, that is on claim. The statement shows the deductions. If you're no longer self-employed, then you need to go to report a change of circumstances in work and earnings and update your work situation. So what they basically mean is if I want to get the universal credit that I was getting before, I need to quit comedy. I really don't want to quit comedy, so I guess I'm just going to have to keep being poor and eating pot noodles for every single meal of the day until I'm successful, so hopefully we can make that happen.
UK right now probably for me feels like one of the biggest scams going in the developing world right now. And I'll try to give you a little bit more context. Everywhere you look, and I'll divvy it up. Taxes, which is just obscene. Let's talk about our infrastructure quickly. Rail, prices through the roof. Fraud. Gas prices, fraud. Electric, fraud. The water system, fraud. NHS on its backside. Prisons, gone. State schools, for the great job teachers do, the infrastructure around it. And I feel like people in the UK are being absolutely drained bone dry. And I think the UK is just a case study around the world of how to not run a country, how to not privatise water, how to not privatise rail, how to not privatise utilities.
This caller is the majority of the people in the UK right now, and he is absolutely right. I've been saying this for a while. The UK is only going one way, backwards. Things are only getting more and more expensive, and you get less and less for your money. Never ever more. Take council tax, for example, always going up, at least 5 to 10% per year. Yet public services, schools, roads, all getting worse. And this is before the November budget is announced in a couple of days' time, and they're obviously going to put other taxes up as well. Energy bills are sky high, about to go up again in the new year. For the same...
Hi. So, and it's going to be about the cost of living. And I'm going to put stats and stuff across the top of this because I can't cover everything in 90 seconds. Okay, so it's awful. Basically, prices have gone up 4 times on average from the time that I first bought a house. So I'm going to compare 1996, which was 30 years ago, about the time I bought my first house, to now. And the average person who bought a house earned an average income back then of about 15k a year. Now, your average person earns about 39k a year, if they're lucky, on a good day with the following wind. And the house prices have gone up from 3.6%, 3.6 times their income, to 7.6 times their income per year. And that is just madness. How does anybody afford that? And just the cost of living. I mean, I thought I'd have a comfortable retirement. I'm not going to. I have paid into my pensions. Yeah, it's awful. This country is a mess, and so is the world. And Trump is not making it any better, and neither is our government. Vote wisely, chaps. Bye.
Excuse my voice, I've got a bit of a cold or hay fever, but I've just had an email from my water supplier, who I've been with for over 10 years, but I've been living in this house for 2 years, paying a bill of £34 a month for the last 2 years. They have emailed me this morning to say that based on my water meter reading, they've estimated that my bill should be going up every month to £127. Now, they have done a temporary payment for the next 3 months of 85 instead of 127. But I do not understand, and have spoken to them on the phone, I do not understand how a bill can go from £34 to £85, and actually it should be £127. What she did say was, if you obviously pay that, then when your next bill does come out, if you haven't used all of that, then you'll be in credit. But point is, like, I do not want to pay that every month for my water. That is just ludicrous. So if anybody has been in a similar situation, please let me know. In the meantime, I've just got to accept it and pay the 85 quid. But this, like, the cost of living, honestly, it is crippling me. So yeah, let me know if you've ever been through something similar.
How do I tell the water company that I'm happy to pay my bill, however I'm going to pay what I've always paid and not the double amount that they're asking for? Bearing in mind, let me give you some context here. You might want to do this on quick speed because it's going to be a long one, but I'm pissed off. Right, I normally pay about 50 quid a month, right? That's fine, no problem. I've lived in this house for years, okay? My usage is the same, nothing's changed, same amount of people live here, blah, blah, blah. So the amount has always been pretty much the same. I get billed every September. No problem. They read the meter, they do the bill, and if it changes a few quid, it changes. No problem. I'm all paid up to date. No problem. Okay. Now tell me why yesterday I get an email saying, oh, we've reassessed your direct debit and we're going to put it up to £112. Basically double. Why? Tell me why, when nothing's changed. Nothing's changed my end. So I messaged them and said, look, I have no problem paying my bill, but I just want to pay what I pay. And they're like, oh, well, we want you to get into credit ready for when the winter comes in and you use more. And I was like, I don't want to get into credit. Thanks. Like, I want the money in my bank and I will pay what I've used. Like I always have done for the many, many years that I've been with you. Toing and froing, basically to be told that I have to pay it. And it's tough, and the only way I don't have to pay it is if I go to the pay less people and they look at my circumstances and my earnings. I was like, whoa, I'm not saying I'm not going to pay it. I've got no problem in paying it, but why are we doing a mid-year change? This has never happened before. The thing is, the bastards know they've got you by the shorts and curlies because there's no one else I can use. There's only one water company. So tell me, please tell me, what are you lot doing in this situation? What are my rights? I'm trying to read up on it. It doesn't really make sense. I just want to pay what I've agreed to pay 6 months ago for the next 6 months. And then in September, when they read the meter and give me the new bill, I'll pay whatever it is again then, like I have done for the last 9 years. What do you guys do? Help a girl out here.
So the Scottish Power people were so confused when I said I get free gas and electric. So basically I went to Asda, and you know when they just stand outside and they're just like, hi. Two of them did stop me. The first one was like melanated man, handsome, and he was just like, hi, you know, how much are you paying for your gas and electric? I was like, my gas and electric is free. And he was like, raw. Raw. He's like, okay then, no worries. I went into Asda and then I did come back out, same entrance. And then there was a lady there with him now. And of course, she didn't know. He knew he spoke to me, but she didn't know. So she's come to me and she's like, how much do you pay for your gas and electric? I'm like, it's free. My gas and electric is free. And then she's like, she was so baffled. She was so confused. And she was like, how? Do you mean like you've changed to a pay-as-you-go meter? I was like, no. I have my own meters, so it's free. And she's like, I've never heard of this before. This is so interesting. And she asked another question. I can't remember, but my response basically was, I've basically just cut out the middle person, which is essentially you, Scottish Power. And I just have my own because gas and electric is free from the national grid. Property is owned, bought. And the gas and electric meters are now owned instead of belonging to the middleman. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. With that being said, Angel out. Bye.
Cost of living in the UK is a fucking joke. Not only is the cost of living sky high in the UK, but we get taxed on everything. Now here's a breakdown of what you get taxed in the UK, and it's going to fucking piss you off because it really irritates me. So your first tax is your income tax. you're going to start paying tax on anything you earn over 12.5 grand. So depending on what you earn, you're either in brackets of 20%, 40% and 45% of tax you're paying. Then the next tax coming out of your bank is your national insurance, which is meant to be paying for schools, roads, NHS, pensions, so on and so forth. Then you get taxed when you spend your money, 20% VAT on everything. School clothes, food, groceries, all that type of stuff. Getting taxed on your fuel, alcohol. Why do you think pubs are more expensive now? You're getting taxed on tobacco if you're a smoker, sugar tax. You'd even get taxed where you live, your stamp duty, your council tax for a local tax for emptying bins. Oh, and then you get taxed on your assets. When you die, you're going to get inheritance tax. If you're still alive and you sell your house, you're going to get capital gains tax. You get taxed owning a car, road tax. You get taxed driving into London, tolls, that's a form of tax. And if you're self-employed and got a business as well, which I do, I've got a business alongside a full-time job, you're going to pay corporation tax. Then more tax in the UK, what a lot of people forget is your TV licence, insurance premiums, air passenger duty. You're going away on holiday, you're getting taxed just sitting on a plane for a ticket you've already bought. And parking fines, speeding cameras, just another form of tax, even though you pay road tax to be on them roads. So in short, you're taxed when you earn, when you spend, when you save, when you buy, and even when you die. That's how great the UK is.
Children living in poverty in the UK is absolutely disgusting. The figures that are showing is incredible. So at the minute, across the whole of the UK, the stats are showing 4 million children are living in poverty. Now that's nearly 10% of the whole population of the UK. What's the population? 56 million? So okay, maybe about 8%. But even still, there shouldn't be nobody, especially children, living in poverty in any part of the country, in any part of the world, should I say. I think it's disgusting. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of families, like I've said on previous videos, they both work full-time jobs and they can't afford still to cover the bills and live as well. Like the bills in the UK are an absolute disgrace, the way they keep rising, the energy cost. The government step in and help the people. It's like, how can you go sleep at night knowing that because of you, the government, there is children that are starving, there's families that can't survive, but yet there's millions of people out there that get loaded up with benefits. Nothing against you people on benefits, each to their own. But what I'm saying is, there's people out there living in poverty. There's people that work that are worse off than people on benefits. Now work that out. That already tells you how broken Britain is. Something needs to be done regarding this issue massively. Like, it's frightening. It's very frightening. And things are getting worse. So this poverty business is just going to get worse. People like, share, comment, have your own views, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Jump on. But I just think it's absolutely disgusting the way this country is literally just leaving children there to starve and families to struggle.
Water bills set to rise again, says The Independent. Household water bills across England and Wales will rise by an average of 5.4% from April. The full list of the increase in average water bills in 2026-2027 for households in England and Wales has been published by Water UK. Household water bills across England and Wales will rise by an average of 5.4% from April, the Water Authority has confirmed. So that means that the average household water bill, I've got cat hair in my mouth, will rise by £33 annually, which is a hike of 2% points above inflation, sparking renewed public anger over persistent sewage pollution. So let's see where I am on this. It's given so United Utilities is my water provider. Seeing the biggest increase in cash terms are customers of United Utilities, which serves the Northwest at an average £57, sorry. It's going to go up £57 annually. So it's looking like the biggest increase is going to be Affinity Water Central Region. Water only, that's not including wastewater. So I don't know if there'll be an increase in that. That's up £31. That's a 13% increase. The lowest increase looks like Thames Water, £3. Are you fucking hello? You've got a £3 increase. Oh, well, lucky you. Yeah, that's great. So I've got a £57 increase. That's the highest, actually. £57. I'm not sure this is entirely making sense. To Affinity Water Central Region, £266 up £31, which is a 13% increase. What they're saying here. United Utility, £660 up £57, which is a 9% increase. 6 people pay £266 a year for their water. Portsmouth pay £162 a year for their water. I'm sorry, what?
A quick energy update. If you're in the UK, as of July 1st, our energy is about to increase 13% if you are on the price cap. If you have no fucking idea what that means, it means that your energy tariff is on a variable rate, which means it goes up and down with the market. So, as with the conflict that's still happening, this is where this price increase is coming from. So what you could do about it is contact your supplier and see if they are offering any fixed tariffs. A fixed tariff will be slightly more than what you're currently paying just now. However, it will be cheaper come July 1st when your variable rate will be increasing. Not all companies are offering fixed rates. There is not an infinite amount within the UK. So have a look at your bill, have a look whether you're paying on a fixed tariff or a variable rate. And if you're not too sure, either contact your supplier and see if they can move you across. If they can't, or if you're interested in switching, that's where I come involved and you can have a look. Well, I can have a look for you. I've got a really good deal at the moment where we can also look at bundling your other household expenses, i.e. broadband and mobile SIMs, and you will be offered the cheapest fixed tariff within the UK. You will also receive up to £150 welcome bonus, whether you are a homeowner or a tenant. So that's quite cool. We also have free broadband for 6 months in the cities. We've also got free insurance for 3 months. And what else have we got? We also have a digital phone line. So if you're someone who wants to hang on to your phone line as well, we also now offer that. So there's plenty of things that I have for you if you are interested. Please send me a message or drop me a line in the comments and we can have a chat. Okay, bye.
Don't mind the state of my newly plastered walls, but I've just got back from the supermarket, right? Can somebody please explain to me why in 2026 my weekly shop for 1 adult and 2 children who have packed lunches every day, but can somebody explain why, bar a dartboard that was £15 and some sandals that were $4.99 and a skipping rope that were $3.99. So what, quick maths, 7, 8, 9. Let's say miscellaneous around £26. So that was £190. £190 minus 26, so 80, 70, 64, £164 for a weekly shop. I've got burgers, mince, chicken thighs, chicken breast, sausages and bacon. So they're the 6 meats that I got. And then packed lunches, ham, fruits, fruit. I didn't even buy crisps because I already had some. And some Kit Kats. £160. I got some cans of sparkling water, flavoured sparkling water. They were like ×2. That's only £3. Like, I can't get it. Like, my fridge has got food in it, but it's not bursting at the seams. Like, £190. It's absolutely wild. Oh, what do you spend your wage on? Oh, just have food. What is that about? Well, obviously I got other things. So I got toilet roll, bleach, milk, butter. I got a full shop, but a full weekly shop. Everything that I'd need. I didn't get cereal because I already had some. I did get granola. Eggs. sourdough. Like, I didn't just get meat and stuff, I got a full shop. But I still think that £160 for a week is barbaric. So yeah, let me know what yours is. Said can of sparkling water drink. What a way to spend your wage.
Good morning. Tuesday, 21st of July 2026. And in today's session of Who Owns Britain, I'm going to talk about energy supply and the suppliers and who owns them. Now, again, before privatisation in the glorious years of Margaret Thatcher, and I'm being a bit facetious, the energy supply in the UK was state-owned, state-provided. And just for a heads up, how that energy was supplied, 67% in 91, before full privatisation, was made up of coal. So coal energy supply. We had 19% nuclear, 2.6% hydroelectric, very small percentage of gas, and no biomass. And we were pretty much self-sufficient in the UK because we had a big coal industry, which before it was destroyed. After privatisation, looking at today, 2026, we have 6 energy suppliers, major energy suppliers. We call them the big 6. Now, British Gas is owned by Centricus, which again has a mix of different owners. EDF, which is Electricité de la France, or de France. So French government owns EDF, which is one of the big players. E.ON, again, just German multinational. Scottish Power is Iberdrola, or whatever, it's a Spanish firm. And then Over Energy, which apparently is UK based, but you don't know where the shareholders reside. So now our energy comes from 37% wind, gas, which apparently is not a fossil fuel now, 31%, and nuclear has dropped to 10%. And then we have, I believe, let me just check my figures, a small amount of biomass, which is 7%, which again is just burning fucking fuel. Again, apparently it's not a fossil fuel when you burn it, and it's not been in the ground for a fucking few thousand years. But the takeaway is, we still import 10 to 15% of energy, mainly from France, because we can't produce enough in the UK at a stable enough rate. Now, of the wind farms, they've got a lifespan of about 20 to 25 years, and that's with a lot of maintenance involved. Lot to be said, and the ongoing maintenance cost makes it one of the most expensive forms of energy in the UK. But it's all this investigation has led me to a lot of thoughts. Anyway, tell me what you think.
Fun facts. I just did a little bit of Googling, and research said that UK was on track to be completely cashless by 2026. But in fact, the use of cash is actually rising year on year for the last 3 years. It's going up exponentially.
The bills don't care whether you've had a difficult month. They arrive with the enthusiasm of a tax collector who has just discovered your address. What makes it especially frustrating is that people can be working hard and still find themselves struggling. They get up, go to work, earn their wages, pay their taxes, and try to do the responsible thing. Yet by the end of the month, there can be remarkably little left. That's when you start asking yourself what exactly we're working towards. A decent home, increasingly difficult. A comfortable retirement, getting harder to imagine. A few holidays? Perhaps one if you're lucky. Savings? Only if the bills allow it. And young people are looking at all this and wondering how they're supposed to build a future. How are they meant to save for a deposit when rent consumes so much of their income? How are they supposed to start families when everything from housing to childcare costs so much? How are they supposed to feel optimistic when simply getting through the month is already an achievement? This isn't about wanting luxury. Most people aren't demanding champagne and caviar. They want to live reasonably comfortably without constantly worrying about whether the next direct debit is going to push them into trouble. When a household starts choosing between heating the home and buying enough food, we've gone well beyond a little financial inconvenience. And that's why people are becoming so frustrated. The cost of living crisis isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about stress, sleepless nights, difficult decisions, and people quietly cutting things out of their lives because they simply cannot afford them anymore. Britain has always had people who struggled financially, and there will always be differences between households. But a country should aspire to make ordinary life achievable for ordinary people. You shouldn't have to be wealthy to afford the basics. You shouldn't have to choose between heating the house and putting dinner on the table. And you shouldn't spend your entire working life feeling as though you're permanently one unexpected bill away from trouble. Because once people can't afford the basics, the question isn't whether they're living comfortably. They're simply trying to keep their heads above water. And that's a very different Britain from the one many of us remember. That's it for now, everyone. And remember, if the basic bills keep rising, eventually people won't be asking what they can afford to buy. They'll be asking what they can afford to keep switched on.